And I just want to have a few words really about Louis Mackenzie, who sadly passed away just under a year ago. I call him dentistry's greatest impresario. Why? Because in the dark old days of 2020, when dentists weren't doing much work at all, he, with Stuart Thompson, devised a series of webinars so that they could keep up their CPD. And he managed to get all these wonderful people to actually talk for him. So, impresario supreme is what he was. But sadly, he passed away just before Christmas last year. And that's our obituary and dental update for the great man. The next year, he organised this series of meetings, webinars again, update webinars, what it's called, working together for better dentistry, and again, managed to get a lot of very great people to do this talking with him. And this is a slide that I made in 2021. Thanks to Louis, the gallery of stars that he assembled for the series, and to Lisa, who is just amazingly good in staying on at work in the evening to transmit the lectures. She's a star. But Louis was the one who put it all together and managed to get everyone to actually speak for him. The following year, it was the sustainability series, and again, lots of people were involved in that. But this wasn't all that he did. You've all read his articles. Louis actually was an extremely talented artist. I've looked at a lot of his black and white pencil drawings, and they are absolutely superb. And he brought his art into writing dental papers, in my view. Managed to get a few potential scientists to write with him, in this case, Adrian Shortall and myself. But the photography was always superb, and the presentation was always terrific. And look at this. This is an art form in terms of dental papers, and this is what Louis did. This is what he became famous for before he started producing all these webinars. But there's his sort of key line, a practical guide, and this is a practical guide revisited. Lots of enormously good practical information was what he was famous for, really. I think this is probably his best achievement. The composite issue was his brainchild, and it's a whole issue on the composite materials, and absolutely superb. It's well worth any of you who want to going back on the website and looking at this. There's an enormous amount of really good information, and it's not gone out of date in the 5 years since it was published. And this, in my view, is a must-read paper. It's probably the last paper that was ever written on amalgam, but it's probably the best one ever. And again, as a tribute to Louis, I think we should all go into Dental Update September 2021 and read this, because it just shows what the man could do, in his clinical work was phenomenal. Look at the pictures there at the bottom right, and look at the lovely pictures that he's actually taken of it. But it's the best paper ever written in amalgam, probably the last. So it's a sad thing whenever you have to report that someone's passed away. But Louis brought a massive amount of stuff to dentistry, webinars, lectures, great entertainment in his talks, and I feel that really he will be missed forever, ever and a day. And certainly I miss him because he and I work very closely together.